Hi everyone, it's Gemma here and I want to talk about one of my favourite topics today. This work has been transformational in my life, in my business, in my relationships, and that is shadow work. And did you know there are 2 layers and levels to shadow work that you can do? And I found the second layer completely accidentally when going through my own process with something, and I was working through layer 1 and I was like, this is not it, this is not enough. We need to go deeper, so I created a second layer to shadow work and I'm going to share them both with you today. So layer 1 is when we've got something happening that we don't necessarily want to happen and we're consciously trying to create the opposite. So example of this is, say you are manifesting, you want to bring in lots of money and you're manifesting lots of bills or not being able to hold on to money. This would suggest that there is a shadow and a subconscious belief, because 95% of the time our behaviours, our actions, our energy is influenced by the subconscious. So if we are manifesting something and it is not happening, it is usually because we are manifesting from the shadow. The second thing we need to do with layer 1 shadow work, or sorry, the second hint that we would get that we need to do layer 1 shadow work, is strong emotional reactions and triggers. If we are triggered by a situation and we have a strong emotional reaction to it, if we don't, by the way, then it's just a boundary that we need to set. But if we do have a strong emotional reaction to a situation, it is showing us a shadow within ourselves. So with level 1, we want to be going in and looking at what that shadow is, which is really simple. So let's say you are manifesting more money. This is a really common one. There's a lovely blue butterfly. But you are receiving the opposite. You would then go in, this is a really basic example, and look at why it might not be safe to receive more money. Okay, so that's layer 1. We want to look at where could we be operating from in this subconscious part of our mind. And then level 2 of shadow work. So I got to this place when I had a lot of narcissists in my life. I kept getting narcissistic relationships, narcissistic behaviours coming up, and I'd done that layer 1 shadow work. And I looked at that and I was like, why do I desire to have these narcissists in my life? And it made no sense, because the deeper I went and the deeper I dug, I did not desire that at all. I'd done all the self-worth work. I was no longer a vibrational match for those narcissists, but those patterns were repeating. And then I suddenly had this light bulb moment one day, which was, it wasn't about I desired narcissists in my life. It was, there was a part of me and a shadow that had pushed down the behaviours of the narcissist. And there was a healthy level of narcissist behaviour that I needed. So bear with me, you might be thinking, no way, I don't want to be like a narcissist. And I thought this the first time I had this awareness. But let's say the narcissist is a 10 out of 10 in their ego, okay, very egoic, very self-centered. But we might want like a 1 or 2 out of 10 ego to protect ourselves, to set some boundaries, to speak our truth. But we're like in minus figures because we're all people pleasers and empaths around here, right? So what those narcissistic relationships were showing me was I needed a little bit of healthy ego. I needed a little bit of selfishness, a little bit of boundaries, a little bit of that fierce and fiery energy. And as soon as I gave attention to that and I started to embody those gifts, all of those narcissists left my life, and I no longer have to interact with narcissists or have any relationships with narcissists or attract narcissistic traits and behaviours into my world. So those are the 2 layers of shadow work. Any questions on this, let me know. I do go deep with my work. Like, I'm not just like, oh, what shadow could be here? Like, we're going deeply into, I'm going to change these behaviours and patterns so that your life and your business shifts and changes. So if you do not want to go deep, this is not for you. But if you've got any questions, let me know in comments. And this stuff has just completely changed my whole entire life for the better.